Hey sports fans, this is Straight from the Basement with OMMY. I'm a sports fan who always said, if I never played a sport professionally, then I want to talk about it. I'm born and raised in New York City. Played organized basketball for several well-known teams in the mid-'70s and the early '80s, such as the legendary Home Cold Rucker Tournament, Melbank, Stone Gym and Riverside Church, LaGuardia House, and my all-time favorite, Each One Teach One. Having sports in my life at an early age always kept me out of trouble. If I wasn't playing basketball, I was either playing football or baseball. Hey sports fans, this is Straight from the Basement with OMMY, where my opinions, views, and facts will cover the hottest, the latest, and the past sports events. Welcome once again. I want to continue to thank everyone who has liked and subscribed to my podcast. And if this is the first time you viewed it, please do the same. As always, before I even get into today's topic, I had one hot topic for y'all, but you know what? I had to scratch that. I got a show. Man, this show is a great one. It's a long one, but it's great. So I just want to get into the topic right now, and I'm talking about the NBA Breakdown 24-25 season. Listen, it's been a long summer, right? We witnessed the men's basketball USA team winning the gold, right? That was the headliner for most of the part of the NBA players, right? But back home here, no real movement in the free agency. No real movement. You know, listen, you had Paul George, who's no longer a Clipper, right? Klay Thompson, who's no longer a Warrior, right? Russell Westbrook, who's no longer a Clipper. And then you got Jonas Valanciunas, right? He's moved on. So, you got players who got locked down in a contract on their prospective teams, like the James Harden, right? He ain't going nowhere. Clippers said, we locking him, right? Tyrese Maxey with the Sixers, he got locked. Bam Adebayo for the Miami Heat, he got locked, right? OG from the Knicks, he got locked. Of course, they all got paid, and they got paid lovely. Now, you had no real movement outside of that, right? You know, players moved here, some players moved there, but no real blockbuster deals. You know what I'm saying? No real shaking of certain teams that got them they're going to be real hot this season because now they got these players. None of that took place this whole summer in the NBA, right? So here we are, we in August, we leaving August, getting ready to go in September, and right now, the NBA, the way it stands, the way I'm looking at it, the way the Eastern and the Western Conference finished last season, I believe it's going to be something similar. I mean, you're going to have certain teams who checked out, like the Memphis Grizzlies, who checked out early in the season. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody got hurt, right? But other than that, you got basically the same players on the same team as of last season. And so, that is the reason why this topic of this show was created, to break down where we think. And when I say we, you're going to see we in a few minutes what we think that these teams are going to be at next season. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy this show. Because listen, once we finish with this show, listen, when we talk about the NBA Eastern and Western Conference, listen, we break it down, we're going to break it down. Well, listen, I got, as you can see, people, I am not even in the basement at this point, as you can see. I'm in Houston, Texas, people. This is not the basement for this show. I'm in Houston, and I'm hanging out. Came out here to visit my son, who is the producer of the podcast, straight from the basement, Mr. Thomas Lucas III, and I came out here to visit his wife. And then I got a treat. Oh, I got from St. Louis, Missouri, my main man, the editor, the footage technician of the podcast, Mr. Jarrell Johnson. Listen, I am right now, I'm in La La Land right now. I'm having a ball. You know what I'm saying? And just to do this show, oh, we're gonna get in it in a few minutes. But for right now, what's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
I feel amazing. How y'all feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm in Houston, Texas. Listen, yeah. Listen, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. This is something a long time coming. How many episodes are we in now?
Oh man, we over 100 right now, going on 105. Right? I mean, we finally, all three of us, get a chance to do a show in person, not in Zoom.
Oh my God.
So this is a great, listen, I think this is the best sports topic right now to do this between us three, because you got the WNBA, right? Playoffs is just about to kick off, right? NFL season is just about to kick off, right? You got the MLB, right? Going to we got less than 30 games with MLB before playoff time. Everybody's jockeying for that first and second spot. And here we got the NBA, what we're about to get into. It's not going to kick off until October 22nd. So we can take our time with this. We're going to dissect each team. Well, you're going to have your opinion. I'm going to have my opinion. Thomas, you're going to have your opinion on each and every team that we're about to dissect. Because, listen, this season coming up, this 24-25 season coming up for NBA, woo, it's going to be smoking. So let's get started. Let's break it down. We're going to start with the Eastern Conference. And Rel, we're going to kick it off with you.
Okay.
Right? So Eastern Conference. And we're going to start from who was in last place in the 15th spot and move it up to the first. So for last season, Detroit Pistons was 14-68. 14-68. So, you tell me, Rel, how you see the Pistons ending the regular season 24-25?
Well, for Detroit on this upcoming season, I really feel like they may have another painful year of growing pains or trying to rebuild and trying to find their new identity, because going back in history, Detroit always been that hard-nosed, hard-hitting team with a good defense and those players that do whatever it takes to get to that playoffs, get to the championships. And I feel like since always called the 014 Bad Boys 2. So I feel like ever since then, they still been trying to find that new identity in this new century. So in this new decade of 2020s, they still trying to climb and still trying to figure out how to recruit talent, get talent there to take them to that next level, take them over that threshold that they keep running into every year. So I feel like it's going to be another year of them having high amount of losses, of them trying to figure out, okay, what we need to do to get over this hump and be a force in the Eastern Conference like we used to be in our heyday.
Well, listen, Detroit Pistons, right? They got a new coach. Got fired. What's my dude? Well, he was the Phoenix coach. Amani. What's the coach name?
Name?
Man, I just went blank. When they fired him, gave him all that money to walk. Right, Kenny Atkinson, if I'm not mistaken, is the new head coach. Right, Detroit Pistons. I like their young team. They got a nice young team. Right, I think they need more veterans on that team to mix with that young team. I don't see Detroit, to be honest with you, being in last place like last season. But they will not be in the wild card. Excuse me, I'm saying baseball because I got baseball in the brain. They will not be in the play-in is what I want to say, number one. Number two, right? 15th is what they finished. I'm going to give them, maybe they move up to the 13.
13, 12, that's realistic.
Yeah, that's about it. I don't see them doing nothing because they ain't really do nothing this offseason to make a big splash. You know what I'm saying? What you think?
Listen, man, we all know, it's about 2 minutes left. We all know that Cade Cunningham is not going to cut it for these guys.
No, not at all.
This is actually probably, I mean, it shows they were 15th last place, but when you're talking about the entire NBA, this might be the worst team. Actually, it is the worst team in my opinion because they don't even have a legit star player.
That's true now.
They
That's
are
true.
actually the only team in the NBA without a legitimate star player, meaning they got nothing but role players on their team.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know what we're gonna get out of that. That sounds like a JV team to me. With all, I don't mean to be too rude.
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And so it's like,
We don't disrespect the players
we not disrespecting
on this podcast, but I got what you're saying.
much
Yeah.
lower to the Pistons, but they might be the new Knicks.
Oh
Whoa,
my
you
God.
talking about the Knicks? Whoa. New Knicks from what? Not right now. You talking about the new Knicks from back in
We know in the past 20 years who the Knicks have been.
Well, yeah.
Let's not act like they've been who they've been.
Yeah. Well, listen. We gonna get off the Detroit Pistons. I think we all three of us agree. Pistons, they got a lot of climbing they got to do, and it's probably gonna take them a good 5 years to even get into the play-in. That's the way I'm looking at it. So I want to move on to the Washington Wizards. They was 14th, right? Last season, 15-67. My God, 15 wins, 67 losses. Got Kyle Kuzma and they got a nice little crew, right? But I don't see them really making no grounds either. I just don't see it. I mean, what are we talking about? They got rid of their star player who's now with the Phoenix Suns. What am I talking about? The sharpshooter.
Oh, Poole?
Huh? Not Poole. Talking about the big three, one of the big threes for the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, I just went blank. Maybe I should have had that Coca-Cola.
Oh, you talking about dark skin?
Yeah. What's my man?
Bill?
Bill, right. My man Bill.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
Bill was gone last year.
Right. Well, so
Yeah,
Bill's
he's
been gone,
yeah.
right? We know Bill's been gone, but Bill, he was that star player for them.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Kuzma is supposed to be that dude, and I just don't see him with his talent going up another level. So I don't see, me personally, I don't see the Wizards even moving out of the 14th. I maybe give them the 13th. I don't even give them the 13th. I'll be honest with you. I think they're gonna stick and stay where they're at. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way I see it.
Is Bradley Bill back?
Bill is back, but we're gonna talk about Bill in a second. Well, what you think about these Wizards coming into this season and where they're gonna land at the end of regular season?
Yeah, so I feel like Washington's similar to Detroit. They still bubbling in that realm of trying to find their identity. Because right now, Golden State shipped Jordan Poole out last year to his own team, essentially to let him get free range to do whatever he want to do. And he still really hasn't captured that same magic he did on Golden State's championship run.
Yeah.
And so right now, Washington's still very immature with Kyle and Jordan. So I feel like they need a real veteran presence on that team. A lot of these teams honestly need a veteran presence to kind of bring everything home to take them to that next level. So I believe Washington may end up maybe dead last next year. So so it's going to be between like 14 and 15 if they don't make some drastic changes, or if Jordan Poole don't make a drastic change in trying to mature and use his actual potential that we've all seen before.
Yeah, I agree with you. What you agree about the Washington Wizards?
I respect that thought process. For me, it's like I think that Kuzma is a step away from being an all-star in the league, and I think that maybe it's going to take another baller next to him or a couple more ballers next to him to bring that out of him. The kind of the same way we saw Kobe almost bring it out of him back in the beginning. And I think that Bill could be that for him, although Bill hasn't been who he was prior to his original injury. He's still a hooper. And if he can get back to, halfway of what he was before, they should be all right. And Poole, I think if Poole can get some poise about his game, we already seen what he's capable of. If he can get some poise and start moving like more of a vet versus the rookie that's hot-headed and quick to shoot, they might could have something over there. And so they're definitely no Pistons right now.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're going to need things to fall in line to get somewhere.
Yeah, again, the reason why I came up with this show, because I'm looking at, like I said earlier, I'm looking at this whole entire summer. Nobody's really did anything. None of these teams really did anything to really say, okay, they going to the next level. I mean, let's talk about the Hornets.
Oh my goodness.
13th seed last year. That's where they wound up. 21 wins, 61 losses. I mean, what Charlotte did. I mean, I'm looking at Charlotte. Yeah, I know Melo was hurt. He's been hurt most of the season last season. They're going to need a healthy Melo throughout this regular season to really direct this organization where it needs to go. Because he's that dude, Melo. You know what I'm saying? I like the surrounding players they got, right? The coach is not that bad, right? They need a few more pieces. But the Hornets, for me, right, is about Melo. I think if Melo is healthy, I can see them actually moving into maybe flirting with that 10th spot. That's just my opinion. Maybe flirting with that 10th spot to go into the play-in, depending on Melo. That's the way I'm looking at it. The way you look at it, bro.
Yeah, so with me, I feel like with a healthy LaMelo, the Hornets is like the Eastern version of a young, fiery Memphis Grizzlies. Similar to the energy that Ja Morant brings to Memphis. A healthy LaMelo brings that with his passing, with the way he attacked the rim. He brings that same energy to Charlotte. So I see them like being on the outer realm of the play-in, maybe even being in the play-in or like around 9. If LaMelo is able to work on his strength and conditioning to stay healthy throughout the year. Yeah. So I say if he stay healthy and they may add like 2 more pieces, they can be like a young, fiery team to really surprise a lot of teams next year.
Okay. What do you think about the Charlotte Hornets?
No, I agree exactly with both of you. I don't really have too much to say against that. I think that LaMelo. I will double up and say LaMelo Ball is special, and I think that is really dope to be in a time in the NBA as a fan where we can look at the league and see that we have some really strong point guards running teams. You got Ja Morant, you got LaMelo. Prior to them, we was looking at the other positions on the court, the LeBrons, the Kobes, the T-Macs, and so now we back to looking at the point guard to kind of either get it done or not. And so I think that's a really cool position to be in for LaMelo Ball, and I hope he can figure things out and stay healthy. Yeah, he got to stay healthy. Like I said, he's the key. He got to stay healthy. Moving on to these Brooklyn Nets. Nets, they wound up 32-50, right? Just got rid of. He's with the Knicks now. I'm talking about. I'm like. This is how it goes when we're talking about these. These teams that are 12th place.
Yeah. It's hard to remember.
You guys know what I'm talking about. From the Nets now to the Knicks. Used to be a Phoenix Sun. Oh man, I just went blank. Anyway, I don't see the Nets. They were finished up in the 11th seed last year. I really don't see them. I actually see the Nets dropping. Maybe to the 13th, because the Nets hasn't done anything. And they bigs is not, they don't have solid bigs. Be honest with you, they bigs is light in the ass. So I don't see they bigs being a factor. The coaching situation, right? They just got a new coach last season. right? The Nets, to me, you know, when that big three got broken up, talking about Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, along with who was and James Harden, right?
Harden.
Once all that got dissolved, it to me it's set the organization. It's going to set that organization to at least 5 years to just to flirt with getting into the play-in. That's the way I'm looking at the Nets. I don't know about you guys. Talk to me.
Yeah, so the Nets are in a similar situation, I feel, to where they were in after they lost the original Big Three from Boston. So once KG and Paul Pierce left Brooklyn and they had to like rebuild again, I feel like they are in the same similar position after losing Kyrie, KD, and James Harden from a couple of years ago, where they're still trying to figure out, okay, we're the Brooklyn Nets, so we need to figure out like who's going to be that new captain of our team, that new leader of our team, because we traded out most of our players trying to build around this new big three we thought we were going to have. So, and once that went flop, so now they're like, okay, we kind of got to scramble to figure out what we're about to do right now. So with that being said, I feel like they may plummet from where they were last year to this year. They may drop a couple of spots.
Yeah, and what you think about the Nets?
Hey, I agree. It's all apples and oranges.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
Dudes might be 12, they might be 13, they might be 14.
Yeah.
They gonna be in there.
Now I know we just starting. I know we talking about these rock bottom teams, and you know,
it's gonna be like
we trying to give them some respect, but yeah, it's gonna be dry.
We knew when we saw things go, like you said, the way it went, Kyrie, and how, especially, you know, the reasoning for him leaving and how he made the team look, the ownership look. It's gonna be hard to get, you know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to get top tier players
to want to go play for Brooklyn.
Yeah, no doubt.